So, as a lot of you guys know, FaZe made their first huge change yesterday. It might not seem like it's a big change, but believe me, it's the start to something. A lot of you guys have been kind of hearing the whole rumors about 2.0, and then FaZe obviously announced 2.0, and briefly what it was. Most of the fans don't really have a grasp too much of what 2.0 is. Now, there's a few people in FaZe. Obviously, the leaders have kept a lot of things hidden, even from the players. You guys need to understand this, that a lot of you guys are not the only ones who didn't really know exactly what 2.0 was for the longest time. There's still a lot of people in FaZe that have no idea. But I have heard some things. I can't obviously announce anything, but I have heard some things. And believe me, Mojo getting picked up yesterday is literally just the start to how big FaZe is about to really get. Believe me when I tell you this, Mojo is just the beginning of FaZe expanding. It really is just the beginning. FaZe is going to become so fucking huge, and people are underestimating that. But believe me, a few months from now, there's going to be so many new changes to FaZe. And honestly, from what I've heard, it's going to be it's going to be really cool. It's going to be amazing to be a part of FaZe. It's obviously really cool now, but I can't wait to see what we do here, because there's so many plans for this team. Obviously, it's not just a COD team anymore, and it's clearly not just a clip team anymore, and people kind of at this point need to understand, because clips are just so repetitive. That's why FaZe has branched out. If people in FaZe, all right, let me put this in perspective that people hopefully will understand. There will be a few people that just will not listen, and I can't do anything to change that. But for the people that do listen, hear me out on this. If people in FaZe were to continue doing what they did 3 years ago, for the past 3 years, none of these guys, for example, you take the biggest people in FaZe, you take Rain, you take Apex, you take Adapt, you take Jev. Jev is still among the newer people in FaZe, but you know what I'm getting at here. If you were to take what they did 3 years ago, when Rain, which I see a lot of people comment on Rain's videos, is like when he was in his prime. He's still in his prime now, guys. You guys gotta remember how many subs he has. He's clearly in his YouTube prime. Doesn't play as much, but he's still in his prime. But what I'm getting at here is that, for example, if people like that, people who are huge now, had continued to only play Call of Duty for clips only, nothing else, none of these kind of other videos that expanded beyond, they wouldn't be where they are now. You guys need to understand that. Their views just would not be there, and it's because it would just become, it'd be even more oversaturated than it is right now, and they were smart to take advantage of that and expand. And people don't really understand that, and I don't really understand why. It's not a hard concept to understand. It's, yeah, people still enjoy montage. I'm not saying people don't enjoy it, but clearly it's much easier for a general person to relate to a commentary. It's a lot easier to relate to a vlog, easier to relate to somebody being human rather than just Call of Duty clips, because that only applies to people that either go for clips themselves or enjoy watching clips and clips only. There's another subject that I kind of wanted to talk about, and this doesn't really apply too much to you guys, but this applies. Oh, that was a multi. That was a multi. Fuck yes, that was a multi. What was I about to talk about? Right, FaZe. So this is a subject that kind of applies. You asshole. As I was saying before, I just quickly stopped recording just so I could save that multi. I kind of wanted to talk about FaZe really quick in my spot in FaZe, because this is obviously something that kind of came up yesterday. When you guys, if any of you guys watch Apex or Rain's videos, Apex uploaded a video yesterday that was titled, I think it's FaZe Clan's Recruiting, or is recruiting. He kind of just slipped it by mid-video, saying that there's going to be a few people dropped from FaZe. And obviously, I didn't upload yesterday, but I uploaded the day before, and I looked back on the video because I knew there's going to be some traffic towards every person in FaZe's channel when usually information like that gets dropped publicly. I looked back, and there were a lot of really good comments, but there were a few people that were asking if I was going to get dropped. I didn't want to make a separate video on this. I don't know, it didn't really cross my mind. I didn't want to do that. But I did want to briefly talk about that as far as being kicked. Yes, I could see it happen. I'm going to be completely honest, I could see it happen. I could see me being one of the people kicked. It would obviously suck, but the thing is that I wanted to just briefly get this over with so all of you guys understand. If you're here purely to watch me for FaZe, obviously that's okay. If you're here to watch me for me, I would prefer that, but obviously that's up to you guys. But in the chances that I do get kicked, I would understand, and it's because I'm among the smaller player in FaZe. I'm among the lower amount of views, the lower amount of subs compared to obviously the big guys. But people need to realize that just because me and the several others who are lower doesn't necessarily mean that we're not contributing. For example, I'm not the smallest player. I'm among the smallest players, but I have the most uploads on FaZe in the last year. Actually, in the last almost 2 years. And I'm not doing that for bragging rights in any way, but I'm trying to get at that I am contributing. A lot of what FaZe is doing this year, and if you guys didn't watch Sprat's video yesterday, I'll link it in the description of this video. You definitely should go check it out, because Sprat's going to be one of the main organizers of the clips. Obviously means that we're going to be really contributing towards team touches. That's going to be one thing, and people need to understand that that's something that we've all been doing. Basically what I was getting at before is that if I do happen to get kicked from FaZe, that would be unfortunate just for me. If it does happen, I want to make it very clear right now that I'm not quitting if I get kicked from FaZe. That I'm not going to shut down and just be like, fuck, I got kicked, you know, time's up, I should just quit, move on. It's not gonna happen. If anything, if I get kicked, it's actually gonna give me a drive to get it back. Give me a drive to push so fucking hard to get it back in, because I did not work 3.5 years to then just give up. I don't want to do that. That's not something I ever want to do. Not even just with FaZe, but just anything in general. I don't want to work for something and then just give up once it's stripped from me. I don't want to do it. If it gets stripped from me, that is a huge motivational thing for me to just push for it again, to try to get back in. So I just want to make that very clear now that yes, it's going to suck if I do get kicked from FaZe. Hopefully I don't, but if I do, it's not going to be me quitting. It won't happen. I will not quit just off me getting kicked from FaZe. I just wanted to make that very clear now, just because I know there were some people that have been tweeting at me. There have been comments, people asking what my opinion was on that. That's just it, simply put.